Let's talk a little bit about the RnR Vocabulary Bible, because I found this a very good idea, but you can explain it better than me.
So this is something, again, I actually made this a while ago now, like at least a year and a half ago. And this was a typical example of me not promoting myself. I made it, sent an email one time and said, I've made this free ebook. And then I never mentioned it again, which was just an example of how terrible I was at my own job. So now I'm like promoting it again. So it's like English idioms, colloquial expressions, and lots of British slang taken from the podcast. So it's not just, for example, to mug someone off means this. So there are 50 pieces of vocabulary, and it starts with the context of the episode. Like we were talking about this something, and then there is the transcript of the episode of where we use that piece of vocabulary. So first of all, you read it, see if you can understand.
I bought something. It was actually supposed to be €2, but it's Christmas, so I said I'll give you 3. She gave it to me. I gave her €5. She gave me €2, and she gave me one of those €2 coins. I then went out later to spend that €2 coin, and then I realised she gave me a fake €2 coin. So I got fucking mugged off by the church. So when you get mugged off, it's like when they cheat, let's say, and do something like not honest to you.
I mean, that's a nightmare. A nun giving you fake money.
She was.
Then there is the explanation. Then there are 3 different examples of the vocabulary used in context. And then there's a bit for you to write and use the vocabulary in context yourself. So that's what it is. It's learning advanced vocabulary and British slang. But like I said, all taken from the podcast.
Yeah, and it's so valuable because, for example, I have bought in the past some sort of a vocabulary book, and I was willing to pay like $20 for that. But now I receive like this vocabulary book of rock and roll English, and to me this is even more valuable because you can listen to the discussion, and it's not contrived, right? It's not like in a usual textbook, very boring. No, it's from a funny discussion, and the expressions are also not so common. So you don't find them in textbooks. So for me, it was really a gem, to be honest.
Well, that's good to know.
For free.
Yeah, maybe I should start asking for money. No, I'm joking. But yeah, what you mentioned there is another important thing about my kind of philosophy of like anti-textbooks. I mean, I'm not saying they're not useful. Textbooks are useful. I've used them myself in learning Italian, but like you said, lots of things you just don't find in textbooks that are actually really common, especially if you live in that country, like me in Italy, for example. So if you learn English and you only speak to, I don't know, like French people, German people, Dutch people, and you need it for work just to communicate, lots of things in that RnR Vocabulary Bible you won't need. But especially if you go to live in the UK or simply understand like films, then you need it.
This is a good keyword because we can maybe speak about connected speech. So why is just listening to more English not the answer to understanding native speakers?
Okay, good question. So I don't know about other languages, but in Italian,